Namaste, and welcome to the Savitri series, part 25, From the Mother. The first thing one feels is this kind of incapacity. Then comes an experience, something which manifests a form of, one cannot call it exactly cruelty, because it is not cruelty as we know it. But within the totality of circumstances, a vibration appears, and with a certain intensity refuses love as it is manifested here. It is precisely this. Something in the material world which refuses the manifestation of love as it exists at present. I am not speaking of the ordinary world. I am speaking of the present consciousness at its highest. It is an experience. I am speaking of something that has happened. So the part of the consciousness which has been struck by this opposition makes a direct appeal to the origin of love with an intensity which it would not have without the experience of this refusal. Limits are broken and a flood pours down which could not have manifested before. And something is expressed which was not expressed before. When one sees this, there is obviously a similar experience from the point of view of what we call life and death. It is this kind of constant brooding or presence of death and the possibility of death, as it is said in Savitri. We have a constant companion throughout the journey from cradle to grave. We are constantly accompanied by this threat or presence of death. Well, along with this, in the cells, there is a call for a power of eternity with an intensity which would not be there except for this constant threat. Then one understands. One begins to feel quite concretely that all these things are only ways of intensifying the manifestation, of making it progress, of making it more perfect. And if the means are crude, it is because the manifestation itself is very crude. And as it becomes more perfect and fit to manifest that which is eternally progressive, the very crude means will give way to subtler ones, and the world will progress without any need for such brutal opposition. So, when the earth no longer needs to die in order to progress, there will be no more death. When the earth no longer needs to suffer in order to progress, there will be no more suffering. And when the earth no longer needs to hate in order to love, there will be no more hatred. 18 May 1963. The mother speaks in English, in the presence of a disciple who is a painter, so that he may convey her explanations to Huta, the disciple who is preparing illustrations for Savitri. Of course, all these things are lights, so you can't reproduce them. But still, it must be a violet that is not dull and not dark, The mother starts from the most material nature. What she has put is too red, but if it's too blue, it won't be good either. You understand the difficulty? Then after violet, there is blue, which must be truly blue, not too light, but it must be a bright blue. Not too light because there are 3 consecutive blues. There is the blue of the mind, and then comes the higher mind, which is paler, and then the illumined mind, which is the color of the flag, the mother's flag, a silver blue, but naturally paler than that. And after this comes yellow, a yellow that is the yellow of the intuitive mind. It must not be golden. It must be the color of cadmium. Then after this yellow, which is pale, we have the overmind, with all the colors. They must all be bright colors, not dark. Blue, red, green, violet, purple, yellow, all of them, all the colors. And after that, we then have all the golds of the supermind, with its 3 layers. And then after that, there is 1 layer of golden white. It is white, but a golden white. After this golden white, there is silver white. Silver white. How can I explain that? There is a white, then there is a white with a touch of pink, then a silvery white, and a golden white. It makes 4 worlds.